Hi and welcome back to my channel. And we're gonna dive into relationships and love because that is the message that came out when I looked at the collective message that is needed. And this message is for you if your relationship feels confusing, but you keep telling yourself that it has potential. The connection that I'm picking up on right now has emotional potential. So I'm not going to say that there's no potential there, but what I'm also feeling very much is that it's stuck in tension and indecision, and that's because someone here isn't choosing clearly, and only you can answer who that person is. Either it's you or it's the person that you're with. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna go with you through the cards so you know what I'm seeing here. It feels like this relationship has some sort of constant friction that is not like, it's not always in conflict. I don't have this theme going on here that there's a constant conflict in the sense of that you're constantly in fights or stuff like that. It feels more like you're living a life next to each other, like you have schedules that are not very aligned, or there is always this emotional tension but it never fully like sort of resolves itself, or could also be it circles around like the same topic, like the conversations are going around the same topics on and on. It feels also that there could be some ego clashes here and there. We have the card that presented itself here at first was the Five of Wands, and this I have this feeling that it feels like there could be some ego clashes here, but also like for some of you that you have to fight for attention, for time, or also for clarity from this other person, from the person that you're inquiring about. The next position or the next energy that showed itself was the Star. And that is what I meant when I said in the beginning, there's real hope, there's real potential, right? That there is real hope here, and that part is true. That is what the Star is all about. And it feels like there is healing in certain moments. It feels like there's movement in certain moments. It feels like there is some sort of emotional reassurance granted here and there. There is this gentle and soft and emotional undertone in this relationship. It sort of makes you believe that something better is possible with this person. The Star energy, but the Star is like hope and potential and dreams and visions, but what it's not is commitment energy. So this could be something beautiful, like it could be this holding on phase where you're like, oh, this could be so beautiful if, and then that never happens. The next energy that wanted to present itself was the High Priestess, and I thought it was very telling because the High Priestess is basically saying you already know what's going on, and I feel like you know it in your heart, like you know what's going on. It's the unspoken truth. It's the things that you sense but you never talk about. It's your gut feeling, your subconscious telling you, I don't know if this is the right thing, is also sort of accounting for this emotional distance that I described, but it's never being addressed. And it feels like that you know in your heart more than what you can actually fully explain or put in words with this person. So this could manifest for you as reading in between the lines all the time, for example, that you're analyzing the tone, the time, the silence, like you're analyzing everything about this person because it's so important. And I feel like there's this moment almost, it comes up as like there's this moment where you're like, oh, I think I'm gonna finally actually trust my intuition on this one. And then it's like, oh, you're talking yourself out of it. That other person might be doing something where you're like, oh, well, maybe they didn't mean it that way. And even if I thought that, maybe it's not true. So it's sort of like you're intuitively aware to a point, but there's no confirmation, especially a spoken word or something tangible in the real world. It's like all happening in your head in a way. So the thing is that there is a real emotional bond. Like we have the lover's energy coming up here too. And that is the attraction, that is the connection, that is the emotional and also probably spiritual chemistry that we see here. Like this, it's almost like this sense of like, this person matters to me though. I like them, I love them, I have feelings for them. There is this maybe physical chemistry that there is going on. But the thing is, the Lovers is also a choice card. The Lovers is not just about the happy love between two people, but it's choosing love. It's also choosing generally something that is aligned with your subconscious and your conscious. So it's sitting here in a spread full of conflict, indecision, because we're going to get to that. There's another 2 card here. And there's 3 2 cards in total in this reading. So there is a lot of indecision going on, and there is a lot of intuition without any clarity. So the connection is real, but the choice does not feel real. It's a little confusing. I hope that I'm able to get this message across as best as I can, but that's sort of what's coming up. And the 2 of coins that I was talking about, this is someone is juggling priorities. That could be you, that could be the other person. This can look like inconsistent communication. This can look like the alternation between closeness and then, the distance the next day. This can be this whole being emotionally very present and aware the one day, and the next day the person or you is completely unavailable. It feels almost like balancing this relationship with other priorities or people. So this doesn't have to be a third-party situation. It could just be that there's a lot of commitment in other areas that makes it impossible to find this real connection. And this isn't like a full reaction, but it's also not a full commitment. So it's sort of like, I'm trying to think of the word, but it feels like maintenance mode. It feels like maintenance mode for a relationship. And that is not like actively choosing a person. Then the other card that came up is the 10 of Cups, which would be emotional fulfillment. And that here to me, although feels like it is emotional potential, it's a capacity for happiness. There is possibility of fulfilling during this connection. There might even be times where it feels like this is a very fulfilling connection, but it feels like it's a little out of whack, if you know what I mean. There's also this compatibility that is there at a core level, but the future, the question is that is this seems like it's a future thing. It's an emotional fulfillment, but it's not the reality. So that means that what right now is active is the energy of the 5 of Wands, that confusion, that ego clash, that friction, basically. The 2 of Coins is sort of active, and the 2 of Swords that sits underneath everything here with the 2 of Wands is also sort of like all of this screams to me happiness is like a possibility, but it's not a stable experience. Like I said, you might even think one day like this is the relationship of my life, or this is the love of my life, and then 2 days later you're like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like there's always this possibility. It could be going in loops, could be going in circles, like an ever revolving door sort of. That could also be your reality. And with the 2 of Swords and the 2 of Wands on the bottom of the deck, that's actually extremely specific. That is someone standing at a crossroads with the 2 of Wands, but also at the same time refusing to make a decision. This is basically then manifested into reality as delayed clarity. There's no actual conversations. You might want to talk about something and it gets postponed and postponed. And the decisions keep getting pushed into the future. So there's always hope and potential in the future, but the decisions are never made. So it feels very unsatisfying. I feel like these are the kind of relationships that have real emotional chemistry. This is not in your head, this is real. There is potential for happiness, but the connection sort of feels tense and unstable. And the other person one of you might not be choosing clearly. I don't know if it's the other person or you. That's only for you to decide. But someone is also staying because it's not bad enough to leave. That's the flip side of that coin. It's not, but it's also not at the same time stable enough so you can actually relax and sit in this energy. So I feel like that this is holding on to the Ten of Cups energy a lot, where in the context of this reading, this is potential, but this is what your hopes and dreams and your potential is, and this is your current reality. This is emotional fulfillment. This is friction and tension and chaos. And this is where you actively are right now. So if this resonated, it does not mean that this connection is completely doomed. It means that the tension you feel is real. I also feel that it's important that you know that your intuition about something is valid. So potential only becomes reality when someone actually chooses it, if that be you or the other person or both of you. But you have to choose that consistently over a matter of time. And until then, I feel you're allowed to notice the difference, at least, between what could be and what actually is. So maybe this is a lot about making that decision to look at it with a clear mind, and actually see the things for what they are, and see them for what it actually is at the moment.